sit down with To Die for Rocket Dreamers. Top player for Bravado, undisputed second place team in the country in the SSA region, looking for and shooting to become the best. One of the more popular players around. We talk about his ambitions, where he hopes to go, and his incredibly busy life outside of Rocket League. To Die For. Finally, I get to sit down with you and have a conversation. I've worked really hard. You're difficult to pin down.
Yeah, I'm quite the busy man during the week.
Well, let's start there. What is keeping you so busy?
As you might have heard, I'm a scholar, and I love sports. So I'm pretty busy with sport during the week, almost every day.
What sport are you involved with?
In winter, I play soccer and hockey, and summer, water polo and basketball.
Okay, so but all and are you as good at any of those as you are at Rocket League?
I mean, I play 18 for most of the sports, so, but I don't think I'm as good. No.
Okay, so okay, fair enough. So tell me, well, that makes me think. If you're that busy with stuff, how do you have enough time to be as good as you are at Rocket League?
To be honest, I don't even know myself. I just play when I get home and I'm bored. Because games is like a casual thing for me, so I just play when I get home after sport to relax. And yeah, Rocket League's my go-to game. So I just play ranked and then I guess it just comes naturally. I don't even
Sure.
know.
Wow. Okay. Well, that sounds like a talent to die for. And since I've made that bad joke, let's talk about your name. How did you end up being called To Die For?
Yo, so, back in the old days, gaming wasn't, or technology wasn't really like a big thing. The Stone Age. I'm joking. But like my dad. So my dad. Okay, sorry. When I went to my auntie's house. Okay, can we just restart that?
Yeah, from the
I
from
know.
the from the top. Tell us about To Die For.
One day, my auntie got like this console. So like in my family, I'd get-togethers. Then my dad would go to my auntie, and they would play. And my dad, I don't know how he came up with this name, but my dad actually came up with the name To Die For. And then like when I play like games like Clash of Clans and Clash Royale on mobile, my dad had set up a game center account for iPhone. So then I had all my game names saved as To Die For. So then I kind of just dragged it on, and yeah,
Okay. So you're carrying on a family legacy.
yeah.
And does your dad still game? And if he does, what's his name?
Uh, my dad does not game.
Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame.
Yeah,
We'll have to try and get him back into it. Okay. All right. And how old are you?
I am 16.
All right, like just 16, or are you turning 17 this year?
I'm turning 17 in June.
Okay, cool. And you've been at Rocket League for how long?
Yo, I don't even know. So basically, I think I started. I don't know year wise, but I think I can give you season.
Okay.
Season 12, or like season 13, 12 in chapter 1. I
Sure.
started on my own account. But before that, I used to play at my friend's house. And since I didn't have PlayStation Plus, all I could do is play offline. So then I didn't really play the game at home by myself. I only
Okay.
played by my cousin's house actually. Sorry. So then I just played the team split screen duos, and
Sure.
that's pretty much how I started. And this is 2017, late 2017, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. And then how did you land up getting into competitive Rocket League?
Uh, I think I was playing ranked once I eventually got PlayStation Plus because I was really pushing to get that so I could play online. And then I met Lucid and Bellum. And
Okay.
then they asked me to join their team called Zentry. And then from there, I joined Six Mans and met the community and all. And then I just decided I wanted to play at a further level.
Okay. All right. And where are you based? Where do
Cape
you live?
Town,
Cape Town.
yeah.
Cape Town proper, or one of the
No,
outskirts?
Cape Town,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
All right, fine. So, okay, and now, and then how did Bravado come to be? What was the journey to becoming what you are today as a team for Bravado?
So obviously I started playing for Zentry, but I wasn't entirely happy there. So I left and I just continued playing. or continued my journey in six mans, where I then further continued my or developed my identity, and then I met lots of new people and friends, and I eventually ran to Ark, who then asked me to join his team just for an ACGL tournament, like a casual one.
Yes.
And we did pretty well. I think we won, if I'm not mistaken. We beat Yopego's team. I forgot what they were called. And I was like diamond back then, so it was quite impressive for me. And then eventually, I improved. Eventually, GC, or quite soon after actually. I don't
Okay.
know how. I just went from diamond to GC, and then Ark, and then I just decided to team with Ark and Skulk. I asked them because I'm pretty good friends with Ark and Skulk, I would say. So we were in calls almost every day, and yeah, we eventually decided to team. And then I wasn't really happy there, so then uh, undercover, Daisy and I were in talks, and then we needed another player, and Daisy found Happy Meal, so
Okay.
that's how I joined the team.
And when was that? When was that? When did you guys come together formally as a team?
Yo, you're putting me on the spot now.
I mean, it was. I mean, how? Well, let me ask. Let me ask the question this way: how long before the first RLCS split?
I was about to refer to that. I think there's like 2, 3 weeks before the first split.
Okay, so you came together because of
Oh yeah,
RLCS.
I forgot to mention that. Yeah, because
Okay,
obviously I wanted to perform in there, and then Socks Up was more like my friends, so I decided to,
and then you joined as Auglis, right?
Yeah, our
Okay.
name was Water.
Oh, it was Water. Water. Sorry, Auglis
Yeah.
was another team. Water. I remember that now. Okay. All right. Excellent. And then how did the pickup from Bravado happen?
Uh,
Who sorted that out, or who approached you?
well, I think it was mostly Happy Meal and his connections, because Happy Meal is also good friends with Falliser, and Falliser has man of many connections. And then
Yes.
he just messages around. Eventually got us a meeting. We obviously had to send a proposal and all that, and then eventually we organized ourselves a meeting with them. We
Okay.
also had meetings with several different orgs, but then we were most happy with Bravado's contract and what they had to offer. So,
Okay.
and just
And
the way they go about with their players.
okay, good. All right. Well, let's talk about where we are. I mean, you've had a good run. You're firmly established as the second best team in the country, and I don't know how you feel about that. But tell me about the plans. Where do you and your team Bravado? Where do you guys want to go? What are the plans? The goals?
The goals, okay, not really short term, but our primary objective is to become the best in South Africa.
Okay.
Because currently, Pirates have obviously, on paper, been playing or been proved to be better than us. So yeah. But further than that, we'd like to go to Worlds, and when we, oh, not Worlds, sorry, Wildcard. We'd like to go to Wildcard and show that our region is not what everyone says it is. So, like, trying to prove, like, I have an underdog story,
Yes.
you know? Yeah.
And how do you feel about your chances in the wild card? I mean, everyone's got an opinion, of course, but how do you guys feel about your chances?
So this is controversial, but so I'm actually not really sure because we obviously don't have any reference point to anything to because no one's really played against okay except for Pirates. Yeah, so it's a complicated story, but
Yes,
I think we can take APAC, and I'm not sure about other regions. I don't really think you can beat them, but you you've got to think positively, you know.
absolutely, you're dead right. And you know what? You'll go in the very worst case. Even if you guys finish dead last, it's we need that exposure, that experience, that opportunity, and what you guys are doing is you're cutting a path for the rest to follow in years to come. Somebody has to go first, and that's going to be you and Pirates probably.
Yeah, it's good for exposure for the region.
All right. Well, let me ask you about. So we've had 6 regionals. We've got 3 regionals coming up in about 5 weeks' time. and you guys won one of those regionals, overcoming Pirates in the second region of the second split. And how did you did you was there a change in how you felt? Was there more pressure on you going into the third regional because you had beaten Pirates the regional before?
Uh, I feel like there definitely was a little bit of pressure, but I don't think, at least for me, I don't think there was enough that to make my play style change or to make me play worse. I don't think there's enough pressure.
So you've given me the medium term goal, get to the wild card, do as well as you can there. And what are the plans after that? I mean, there's some uncertainty because we don't know what RLCS is going to do with the SSA region, if we're going to get major spots or if it's going to be the same format as what we've seen. But what would you like to see, and how far would you like to go with all of this?
I mean, pursue gaming as a professional career is obviously a dream of mine,
Okay.
but with that being said, I'm not sure if see, I have other goals in life.
Okay.
So there's things I value more than just becoming a professional gamer. So if I have time for it, I'll always do it. So like, if I get a spot at major, obviously I'd like it to continue as it is now, with me just playing on games on the side and obviously spending a lot of time still just playing on the side though, not as my main career. And then obviously I'll have my main job after or whatever.
All right. Well, let's talk for a moment about your other. What are your other goals outside of our Rocket League? What would you like to do? What are you pursuing?
Okay, so my main goal is to save lives. Uh, so basically, I'd like to become a doctor.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Well, that's okay. Well. Now here's an interesting question because there's going to be eventually those your goals in Rocket League and your goals to get into medicine and become a doctor will clash at some point. But because do you think at some point you're going to have to pick one or the other?
Uh, Probably, but I really hope not.
Okay. I mean, because studying to become a doctor's it's not for sissies. That.
By the time I'm ready to become a doctor, I'm probably gonna be way out of my years of playing Rocket League. So I'm hoping, like,
Okay.
while I study at university or something, I still play Rocket League, and then eventually, at the age of like 30, I'll be a full-time doctor. Or not 30, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Numbers, I'm not sure about the numbers exactly, but basically, after a good couple of years playing Rocket League, so not anytime soon, and then
Okay.
I'll probably stop and pursue a full-time career.
All right,
Yeah,
fine. So you see yourself doing professional Rocket League for at least a few more years
yeah, alongside studying.
alongside studying. Okay.
Yeah,
And are you gonna what year of school are you at?
I am grade 11.
So you've still got this year and next year.
Yep.
Sure. Okay, so that's pretty busy. And then so if there is more involvement for SSA in RLCS after this, like if we are start getting major spots, um, do you think at some point, because you are very busy and you've mentioned that, do you think you're going to be able to comfortably balance your schooling, the other sports, and pursuing competitive Rocket League?
I mean, I really do believe I probably could, but the main issue is my parents, because my parents are quite strict. So
Okay.
with school's like a major priority. So if I had to like miss a week of school to go to like so already since the wildcard's been postponed to August, I have to miss a week of school. It was already quite a big of a fuss about that, but I think it's gonna happen.
Oh,
So
okay. So, that's a tough one. Well, tell me about that. So, what is their opinion about Rocket League and you competing in it?
uh, I think they're happy for me, but they I want to set it straight that my priority is school and not Rocket League. So
Okay.
I agree with them. So yeah,
No, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So, okay. So talk about you mentioned you were on PlayStation, but you wanted to go into PlayStation Plus,
Yeah.
and then at some point you moved to PC, right?
Yes.
And when was that?
Uh, it was end of 2020, December. I got it for Christmas, my PC for Christmas.
Okay, and
Yeah.
that's still serving you well.
Yes, it is.
And what is the difference for you in moving from console to PC? How is it a necessary difference?
I think it is necessary, but with that being said, from when I moved from console to PC, I didn't really feel much of a difference. Like, in my opinion, okay, maybe I'm not really sure, but I didn't feel much of a difference. But when I moved back to PS4, then I can feel the difference. So like, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure it's a good move.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's interesting. All right, so let's talk about some mundane things then. Your car main is,
Octane.
and is that do you ever flirt with other cars?
Yeah, sometimes when I'm not feeling the Octane, I'll move to Fennec.
Okay, okay, but those are the two standards. There aren't any other.
Those two.
Okay, all right, cool. So tell me about the split coming up. Third split, the last split for this season, the three regionals. How many times can we expect to see Bravado finishing first of the last three?
Well, I can't say for sure, but we're hoping to, well, at least my personal hopes
Yeah,
is to at least win two of the three.
two of the three. Okay, that's pretty ambitious and probably possibly doable. I mean, you've done it once. So now take me through how you guys work together as a team, how you train as a team, what you do as a team and what are you doing right now with 5 weeks to go before the split?
Uh, so we just came off break, like a 2 week break or something, and now we're just gonna be scrimming every week, or like 4 or 5 times a week, and replay analysis to improve on what you're doing wrong and see our issues in scrims and all. But there's always room for improvement. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And tell me about how do the replay analysis work? Are you doing it the three of you? Do you have someone doing it with you? How's that all working?
We have people doing it with us.
Who's that?
So we have many different people. So we've been chop and changing with coaches. So right now it's with Slayer. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure he's gonna stick. And
Okay.
we're also looking at private sessions with other coaches, like top coaches from Europe, like such as Team KSO coach, which you have to obviously pay for. Like maybe like 1 or 2 sessions a month with
Okay.
team. Yeah.
Brilliant stuff. And so for the wild card, are you guys planning to go earlier to try and do some sort of boot camping there, or are you going to be arriving just before the start of it?
Well, Happy Meal really wants us to boot camp, and that was the plan. But now wildcard got moved in the middle of school for me, so that's gonna be a bit of an issue. So I think I'm gonna leave as late as possible.
Okay. But
Yeah,
but there's no firm plans on that yet.
no, nothing new.
All right. And do you know when those are? When will those be firmed up?
Uh, Probably at the end of this split.
Okay. All right. And what do you think it's going to take for SSA to compete at a more even level with Europe and North America?
I think our main disadvantage is our experience. Like, there's not many teams. For instance, myself and our team and Pirates, Bravado and Pirates, we don't have many teams to scrum because the level in of. So I think the main disadvantage that our region has is experience, because diamonds cut diamonds, and there's two teams in our region that are severely higher skill level than the other. Okay, that's a bit. Let me rather not say that.
Say it. Say it. Come on, to die for. Say it.
No, no, no. Restart again. Yo.
Okay, go.
Yes.
Um, so, how do we grow Rocket League in South Africa?
Uh, I think it depends on the players within the community. So I think we just need to have a bigger player base. Obviously, it's not as easy as it sounds, and we need to have more people that grind. And with that, there'll be many more great teams in South Africa, and a more variety of scrims. Because right now, like, there's not a great deal of options for scrimming in South Africa at a high level. Because there's a very big difference in the scene, at least in my opinion. We need to develop many more players because our scene is quite small. Many more players and many more players need to put in the grind to make our scene better individually, and then we can work individually to make a better region.
All right. Well, I think okay. So we'll try that other question, and don't sweat it too much. But in your opinion, how do we get our skill level up to a level that we see in North America and Europe?
Wait, one question.
Yeah, shoot.
You said, I remember in your last cast, you said some question you wish that you would have asked.
Oh yes. Okay.
Well,
Okay. Well, let me
I
ask
wish-
you that then. So what question do you wish I had asked you?
About the rule one.
You know what? I thought about it and I've stopped asking that question. But okay, but let me ask you then, because you clearly want me to ask you to die for Rule 1 in competitive Rocket League, yes or no?
Well, it depends what you mean by competitive Rocket League.
RLCS, split 1,
Oh,
split 3,
okay.
regional 1. And,
So-
and you're in a best of 7 semi-final, it's game 7.
See, I initially used to be with rule one because I thought it was so cool how unspoken rule could just be into the game.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw, but like I did it with the word T in one of the regionals.
I
But
remember.
you live and you learn. So now my mind has changed. So in the ranked and all, I don't mind doing rule one because like I said, I still like the concept. But in RLCS, I realized after that how much it affects my team because like Apple is a very good threes player, for instance, and Daisy is also a very good threes player. But if I'm in a rule one, the game turns into a 2v2, and then all the fundamentals and all get messed up. So yeah,
All right. So anything below top level competitive Rocket League, you're happy to entertain it. But when it's serious business, not so much.
not anymore.
Good man. All right. Cool. All right. Are there any other questions you wish I'd asked you?
No.
All right. Good. Well, then we're a wrap.
Okay. Thank you for your time, and I'm glad we eventually managed to bend around my schedule.
Indeed.